All right, welcome in everybody to another deep dive. This time we're looking at Psalm 64
Oh, cool.
from the New Living Translation. And, this psalm is attributed to David,
Right.
and it's addressed to the choir director.
Interesting.
So right away we know that this was meant for public worship.
Yeah, a public setting. Makes sense.
And yet it's also a very personal complaint, so we're going to try to unpack some of the ideas here. And hopefully it'll resonate with some of you listening. What strikes you first about this psalm?
I think the first thing that really jumps out at me is how raw and vulnerable the speaker is in their plea for protection. It's not just, a general help me. It's very specific. They're calling out enemies
Right.
who are doing wrong and plotting harm. Right away, that sets up a struggle.
Yeah, very relatable. I think we can all understand that feeling.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about these enemies. The psalm says, they sharpen their tongues like swords and aim their bitter words like arrows. Why do you think this imagery, these words as weapons, why is that so powerful?
Well, think about it. Words can hurt. They can really leave scars
Oh, yeah.
on your reputation, your sense of self-worth. And it's that feeling of being attacked unexpectedly, like they say, shooting from ambush. That's what really makes it scary,
Yeah, it's not out in the open.
No, it's hidden.
It's sneaky.
Yeah.
And it's not just a one-time thing. The psalm actually describes a conspiracy.
Right.
They're encouraging each other to do evil, making plans in secret, even thinking who will ever notice. What does this tell us about what's going on here? What kind of conflict is this?
This secrecy, this plotting, it points to something very intentional. It's calculated, malicious.
Not just like heat of the moment stuff.
No. This is strategic. They think they can hide, that they can get away with it.
And the psalm acknowledges that.
Yeah.
Right?
It says, yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. So it's real.
But in the midst of all this, the speaker doesn't give in to despair.
That's right.
They still have faith. Even as the enemies plot, they believe that God himself will shoot them with his arrows, suddenly striking them down. That image of justice, it's pretty powerful.
It is. And it's interesting, that they use the same weapon, arrows, against the enemies.
Right, turning it around.
Exactly. Poetic justice, you might say.
And there's that line, their own tongues will ruin them. It's like their own words come back to haunt them.
It's the consequence of their actions. It all comes full circle. And then there's the public reaction. People see this and they're scornful.
Afraid.
Yeah, and then they recognize God's power. It's like, whoa, okay, there's something bigger going on here.
So for our listeners out there, what do you think they should take away from this? What does it mean for them? The psalm ends with the righteous finding safety and rejoicing.
Well, I think the song offers hope. It's reassuring, like even when things are bad, even when you face negativity and opposition, you're not alone.
There's something else out there.
Exactly. And I think this speaks to something we all experience.
Dealing with hostility.
Yeah, negative communication.
It's a timeless thing.
It really is. And the psalm says, ultimately, there's justice, a place of refuge.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
So just to leave everyone with a final thought here, think about those arrows in our own lives. The negative communication, it could be online, rumors, even just harsh criticisms. What gives you shelter?
Right.
What protects you from those attacks?
Good question. Something for all of us to think about.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
My pleasure.